2, 1. Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. With today's Ask Michael Anything, we're going to be talking about top secrets to help get things done, real lessons from the pros. Last week on our YouTube Live, we had quite the crash and burn, didn't we? We had video challenges, we had computer challenges, we had Wi-Fi challenges, we had from the tower challenges. So this week we're going to a green screen. We're going back to our internal studio setup, a lot more of a controlled environment. We're going to see what that does. We're not even putting the video up behind us. We're waiting. We're upgrading video cards. We've got a 6-core computer that we're putting a new 2G video card in, 4K video card this week, so we can really kind of spice things up, make it more tech savvy, tech friendly for everybody. With that said, I want to dive into this topic here tonight. Before we do that, a couple quick, really quick notes. First off, we have our Magical Morning Routine program on sale just until this weekend. You can use the coupon code MAGIC40 to get 40% off. Simply come to inspirenationuniversity.com and click in the code MAGIC40 to get 40% off. And if you like what you're hearing here tonight, share it with everybody. Share it worldwide. Let's help get these messages out to everybody that we know. With that said, I want to talk about the top secrets of the pros to getting things done. The reason I'm bringing this up today is because when things come in patterns, I take notice. And what's been going on over the last week is on a consistent basis, somewhere between a third to maybe a quarter, maybe even a little bit more than that, of my coaching clients have been looking for assistance in structuring their days to help them get things started, to help them overcome inertia, a feeling of being stuck, and help them to get things done, particularly when they're feeling intimidated by things, like they're working on their own, they're on their own clock now, and they're unable to muscle through or get things started. In other words, there's a big habit of procrastination. And that's where I want to really start the story tonight. A long time ago, I was working equivalent to 9 to 5. I was working sales. I had gone from coaching and personal training at gyms to, for a few years, was still coaching athletes, but was working in a sporting goods store, kind of 9 to 5, more like 8 to 8 or something. I was a little crazy, but was very successful in that environment. And then when I left that environment, because I moved and the new place that I was working wasn't the same as from the town that I had left, I ended up going into a kind of door-to-door sales, consulting and door-to-door sales. And I thought, I've done sales. I'm real successful at it. I've been the #1 salesperson for my company. I'll do great at this. A total and complete crash and burn. Why? Well, first off, I was terrible on the phones. I was scared to death. Calling somebody up and asking, not for a sale, but asking to do a free consultation. The first time, it took me hours to do it because I didn't have that structure in place, which we'll be talking about. When I finally got myself to make that first phone call, and I'm going, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer, please don't answer. And I'm calling, nobody answers, thank God. Calling, nobody answers, thank God. Calling, somebody answered, and my face went beet red, and it was a complete crash and burn. I got off the phone and I put my face in the freezer. It felt on fire. I was so embarrassed. From there forward, I struggled so much to make my calls. And you had to make calls to make appointments. You had to make appointments to be able to make sales. You had to make sales in order to survive. And so I wasn't surviving because I didn't have a routine in place to make the calls. So I would just put them off more, and so forth and so on. Now, if I back up in my story, I actually knew how to make this work. I just hadn't made the connection. So I'd been a pro cyclist for many years, and growing up, I was incredibly effective at training for my cycling and any other sport training that I did. Why was that the case? Well, because I always put my workouts first. I front loaded the most important thing. And that's really lesson #1 for you, is we get to front load what's most important. And then I put them in the calendar and block them out neurotically or religiously. so that no matter what else happened in the day, I got that one or two most important things, my workouts done. So that's secret number one in your day is you want to front load whatever's most important. Front load means put it before everything else, before the day gets busy, before your boss tells you you need to do X, Y, or Z, which isn't really the most important thing that you need to get done. Whatever can get in the way, make sure you've got that front-loaded item done first. And then the day is great. The second key is a morning routine. And that's why we made our magical morning routine for busy spiritual seekers. Having a morning routine is like having a drummer in the band. It sets the beat for everything that's going to come your way. And a key to your morning routine is, whether you're spiritual, whether you're secular, whatever you are, is to take at least a few minutes to go quiet each morning. It helps relax the mind. It helps set the stage for the day ahead. It helps put you in a calm and centered place. And one of the coolest things that they don't talk about with meditation is when you meditate, even though we want the mind to go still, we want the mind to go quiet, those things that we've forgotten about and that really get done tend to pop up in meditation. It's also why it's so fantastic to do automatic writing. They pop up there as well, and you've got pen in hand. When you quiet the mind, the things that are most important to you for your life, for your day, for your dreams come back to you. So you want to make sure that you meditate almost first thing in the morning. That would be the third key, meditation. Fourth key, not checking email right away. So many of us keep our phones by our beds and use that as our alarm clock. But the trouble with this is, first off, it's very unhealthy if we have the phone on. But even if we have it in sleep mode, it's too easy to roll over, turn the phone off of sleep mode, and check the email to get that initial dopamine response. Basically, it's as much of a rush as a cup or two of coffee by checking your email. And we think, well, that will wake us up. What you do when you check your email first thing in the day is you give your day away. It's like you wake up, go, yeah, let me give my power away today. Let's see who wants it. No. We want to keep that phone off until your day is well underway, or you're giving your power and you're giving your day away to others. The fifth secret is knowing what works best for you when. For instance, if you're a writer, chances are you want to write first thing in the morning while the brain is fresh. You don't want to write in the middle of the day when it's squishy. Conversely, we have a dear friend who's a copywriter, which differs somehow. I was going to say it's less creative, but I can't actually do copywriting. So he's really good at it, and he can't do it until after his first or second cup of coffee, which just goes to show, figure out what you're good at when, and that's where you want to get it in the calendar. If you write best, like myself, first thing in the morning or last thing at night, you probably don't want to schedule midday for writing. If you know that your planning work takes doing when your mind is at your sharpest, you probably also want that fairly early, maybe not first thing, but fairly early in the day. Again, probably not on after lunch when you're foggy. Look for when you're most productive or most creative. Use that for your most productive tasks. Look for when you're most exhausted or almost asleep, and either take time off at those points or save it for the menial tasks, the repetitive tasks that don't take much brain power. When you do this, because there's a natural ebb and flow in the day, the 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 day is completely broken, and it's completely wrong, because nobody works strong from 9 to 5. In fact, nobody really works from 9 to 5. You're surfing email, you're surfing Facebook, you're surfing YouTube. You might be listening to our show, but you're not able to focus for that entire period. So work with that ebb and flow of the day. Sixth secret, get it all in the calendar. I learned this from coaching clients probably almost 20 years ago. If it's not in the calendar, it doesn't get done. Even as Jessica, who's on the microphone behind me here, will attest, if we don't put a date in the calendar, it's probably not getting done. Put everything you can in the calendar. Now, I'm not talking about drowning yourself in the calendar, but if something needs to get done, give it a home in the calendar. When that home comes up, if you can't get it done, move it, but at least get it in there. That's number 7, is set alarms. Don't overwhelm yourself with alarms. I did this in grad school. I was getting an MBA and a second degree in computers at the same time, and I had way too many alarms going off. And way too many alarms is the equivalent of no alarms, because eventually you completely ignore it. But if you have the occasional pop-up that comes up and say, time to shift gears, time to do your workout, time to work on that project, time to write that copy, whatever it is, that can really help you get things done. I think that was number 8 that we have there. Number 9 we want to look at is giving yourself breaks. This comes from Dr. Srini Pillai of Harvard, who talks about tinker, dabble, doodle, try, which means that our brains are only good for about 40 to 45 minutes of focused effort before they turn to mush. So dive in, work, 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 work. Get out, take a break, relax, dive in, work, 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 get out. So a coaching client earlier today, we were working in 45-minute blocks, 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off, 45 minutes on, 15 minutes off. When Jessica first came into my life, I was scared of her seeing me work because I take so many breaks. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to have her see me watching a movie or on YouTube or doing whatever kind of thing that I'm doing on a break, because I'd feel like, well, she's got to think I'm a slacker. Well, as she's found, I'm anything but a slacker. I get so much done because I work the muscles of the mind, and then totally give it a chance to rest. Dive in, get out, dive in, get out. Number 10, get exercise or movement into your calendar. I learned this when I was coaching students, particularly students with learning disabilities. And I would ask the parents, what did the child like to do the most? Oh, they love soccer, they love hockey, they love gymnastics. But they had to quit that this year because it's time for them to get serious and to buckle down and get things done. And I'm going, oh my God, that is the exact opposite of what we want. You need those breaks in the day with physical movement to recharge body, mind, and soul. So as the adage goes that I use way too often, if you don't feel you have time to exercise, exercise twice as long. It resets everything. It makes the mind sharper. If not, you'll be working twice as long, but getting half as much done, or you'll even be what I call in the shred zone. The shred zone is that place where you can do maximum damage to the mind or psyche in a minimum period of time because you're slaying yourself to get things done. Much better step away from the computer, step away from the desk, kick yourself outside, kick yourself to the gym, up to the hills, into the pool, whatever it takes, but get some movement. Number 11, set timers. So before I was talking about alarms, now I want to talk about time timers. About setting timers, I'm getting ahead of myself, to time what you're doing, or basically give yourself mini deadlines. Now, I used to use an app called Time Timer. I believe it's still around. I haven't used it in years, but what it would do is give me a visual, kind of like an egg timer on the screen that would show me what 45 minutes looks like, what 35 minutes looks like, what 25 minutes look like, so that if I get lost in a task, I can see how much time has passed and how much time I still have. And then I used to set alarms. I would set anywhere from a 45-minute alarm to a 15-minute alarm, even a 5-minute alarm, saying, oh, I want to take a 5-minute break, set a timer. I've got 15 minutes here, set a timer. And then I went with something not obnoxious, but fun to bring me back in. So instead of a doo-doo or something, I tended to use Bessie the cow to help me to switch tasks. Because I go, oh, what's that? Oh, that's Bessie. Look at the timer. It's gone off. Oh, that was the 45 minutes allotted for this task. What's my calendar say? Okay, I'll jump into that too. You can use a poor man's timer. You can use a true egg timer on your desk for this, or the old school oven timer. In fact, you've got one in the kitchen if you're working in the kitchen. You can use your phones as well. I like something more visual and visible than the phone. Of course, you can have it on a timer and the app in front of you, but it becomes so easy to check email. And again, email is about energy mail, giving away your energy in the mail to somebody else. Number 12, review your day the night before. This is something Jessica and I have been doing, I want to say, religiously together over the last week. Usually I do this on my own, but the calendar has become so tricky and interesting at the moment that we've been taking time before bed each night to review the calendar, which makes it so much easier to breathe the next morning when you've reviewed your calendar and you know what's coming your way. That's number 13 as well. As part of your magical morning routine, and I'll talk more about that in a minute, make sure you review your calendar in the morning. If not, you're continuously on edge going, what's coming where, what's this, when's that? And your mind is using the CPU, it's using your RAM to continuously scan what's coming next. I just don't know. How does this all fit in? And your bandwidth is reduced. Your creativity's down, your stress level's up. You're not able to think as clearly because you don't know what's coming when. So as part of your magical morning routine, make sure that you have an assigned time each morning to check and review your calendar. Of course, I recommend an entire morning routine put in place. This is the drummer of the band. That's why we made our magical morning routine, to help you each step of the way. We've got a whole video series on this. We've got classes on this that you can take at your own pace to help you structure a program specifically for you, so that each morning you wake up, you know exactly what you're doing well. And I heard the expression lately, it's a Taoist expression, Wu Wei. And I think that means basically movement without effort, going in the flow, flowing like water. When you set up and structure your day, you don't have to worry about what's coming when. You don't have to work harder. You don't even have to work smarter. You just follow from step A to step B to step C, and you flow like water with absolute minimal effort. And I guess that's number 15, if we want to call it that, which is we put our magical morning routine on sale. So if you want to find out more about it, you can come on over to inspirenationuniversity.com. And we've got a coupon code just till this weekend of MAGIC40 to get 40% off. And again, that's inspirenationuniversity.com. And you can use the coupon code MAGIC40. I cannot recommend enough putting a morning routine in place. Even if you're not an early morning person, even if you're not an early morning riser, when you get up, having that structure in your day changes everything. Again, when I first started going on my own, when I went from working for others to working for myself, I had no structure in place. It was beyond the wild, wild west because I was completely overwhelmed. I didn't know where to put what. And I guess the expression paralysis by analysis took over. What do I do first? When do I do this? What will this work? Oh my God. And I wasn't able, I tighten up even thinking about that, breathe. I wasn't able to get anything done, particularly those calls in the beginning. Now I get more done than ever by using these tips here and by starting my day off with success with a magical morning routine. Why is it magical? Because, and I mentioned we're going to talk a little bit about law of attraction. When you do a morning routine, you shift your energy for the day. When you raise your energy and you raise your vibration, you become an attractor magnet. You're able to attract into your life that which you desire. So with a magical morning routine, you're cranking up the magic by cranking up your energy, cranking up that internal woohoo. Plus, we've got a lot of exercises in there to use law of attraction tools to help manifest or bring about in your life what you desire. The morning is an extra special time for what I call alchemy or magic, or working on the other side of the veil to attract into your life what you desire. So with that said, please share if you're loving this. Come on over to inspirenationuniversity.com. Check out our magical morning routine for busy spiritual seekers. I'm going to open it up to questions now, and I'm going to go to the main screen here. I've had it closed which has kept my video card nice and quiet. Please let us know if sound is off, if video is off, any of these challenges. We're learning through this experience as we go. Now, I see my chat window is not showing here at all. So Jessica, I'm running completely blind here today. So I'm going to need you to tell me anything and anyone. I can't even say hi to anybody. It's my chat's not showing at all on here.
Okay. Well, Occult Fan says the sound is good and the video is good. So, and I do have a question that was sent in from earlier, and then after that, I'll ask a question from Charlene.
Excellent.
So the question is, what if your problem with getting things done is related to creative blocks, like author's and writer's block?
So it's a great question, Charlene. And I think
actually that question is not from Charlene. That was sent in earlier.
Oh, okay. So if your challenge is creative block, writer's block, there are a few things. First off, getting you outside of your environment is incredibly helpful. So getting yourself into a different environment. I'm a huge fan of the power of nature, of recharging the mind. Exercise can be helpful. Meditation can be helpful. And then honestly, I would set an assigned time to write. Even if you don't know what you want to write, even if you're going, I'm in the middle of writer's block, there's no way I can write right now. Have an assigned time, sit down, write anything. It's sort of like automatic writing. You can write, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. I have no idea what I'm going to write, but I'm just going to keep writing. Write is not might is not right. Don't know what I'm going to write. But take that time and just start tapping on the keys or writing about anything. And it helps to move past that dam, and it helps to get that water flowing again. If you have true burnout, if you're not liking what you're writing about, if you're not passionate about what you're writing about, take a huge break and reevaluate the situation. Energy always follows passion. If you're not passionate about something, it becomes very difficult to write about it. Now, if you're in the middle of grad school, undergrad, PhD or something, you're not passionate about it, you've got to muscle through it. I completely understand. I've been there. Then you want to schedule it in and just start writing anything and see what follows. Oftentimes behind the gibberish is something quite intelligent, and you'll be quite impressed when you put pen to paper. If you just sat there diligently, same time every day, that the words begin to flow. Beautiful question, and thank you for asking.
I have a follow-up question to that. So if you're like an artist and you've got a creative block, would you suggest just putting the paintbrush to the canvas and...
Absolutely. So I would both do the take a break, step back far away from it, and then I would have a regular time, and I would put that paintbrush to the canvas. I would get some great music, some theta music, some other soothing music. If you write out of a place of angst, some angst music. But then I would just paint and see what comes about. It is working the muscle, and it is getting past that block, and it's sort of like getting back on the horse. The horse is real intimidating until we get started. Once you get started, things begin to flow and you feel much, much better. Even if the performance or the artistry isn't up to par initially, it's okay because you've kind of burst through that dam.
Okay, thanks. Now we'll address Charlene's question, which is, how do I overcome worries about money when I'm struggling financially?
So that's a brilliant, brilliant question, Charlene. How do you overcome fear or worries about money when you're struggling? And there are a few things that I would do. First off, I would tap each morning about it. I think this can be incredibly helpful. That's to use 8 different points. I've talked about them in many Ask Michael Anythings before, such as the karate chop point. I'm going to go through them, the 5-second version. Let's say you're worried about money first thing in the morning. I love myself completely and fully, even though I'm worried about money. You tap on here. You keep repeating that in your head. You tap on here. You tap here. You tap here. You tap under your nose. You tap your chin. You tap on your chest. And you tap 2 to 3 inches below your armpits while repeating that phrase at least 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And ask yourself, what's the level of stress? Is it 0? Is it 10 beforehand? then check it again. If it's still up in the 7, 8, 9 range, keep going. If it's down around 2 or 3, you're good, or tap on something else. So first off is tapping. Second thing is, let's write a letter to money. Let's get a letter to money, Charlene, to understand your relationship with money, how you've been treating money. Have you been kind to it? Have you been unkind to it? Has it been a dear friend that you've pushed away? Have you abused it? Have you had a I love you, I hate you relationship? Let's get it out on paper. And I also like, along with the letter to money, write a timeline of money. What are your first experiences with money? What are your first memories with your parents with money? What are the first times that you had money? What were you first taught about money? And get these things down. And then you can use a process like emotion code, which is really powerful, or tapping as well, to start to clear away some of these emotional blocks. Then as quickly as you can, Charlene, start a 10% account, a 5% account, or even a 1% account, Charlene, and start making a symbolic gesture of paying yourself first. It always comes back if you pay yourself first, but get something into the kitty for you. Save that for a rainy day. Save that for an emergency. On emergency, try not to spend it. If at all possible, there is a time and a place for it, but leave that until the last resort, and pay yourself first. And then lean into the fear or discomfort. Is the pain in your gut? Is that where the worry is? Is it in your heart? Is that where the worry is? Breathe into this in meditation. Breathe into this in walks, and ask yourself, what is this here to teach me? What is this here to tell me? And then, if you have ideas on making money, step forward with everything that you've got. And if you don't, dive into a process of journaling and self-inquiry or automatic writing. And in a place of prayer, begin asking, what do I do about my financial situation? What is this here to teach me? How do I step forward? And how do I change this? It is completely changeable. This is something that we've faced several times in our lives. In fact, I know of almost no self-made entrepreneur that hasn't faced extreme money challenges. It's totally okay. It's totally normal. In fact, it's almost, what's the old expression? Cutting your teeth. The only way to learn about money may be to struggle with money in the beginning. Now, that's a limiting belief, and you maybe don't need to struggle with it. But I think we learn the most when we're in that scarcity place and go, okay, as the expression goes, I will see it when I believe it. So how do I get myself in an energetic state that I am wealthy, that I am abundant, that I can attract money into my life? Is that a mantra that you need to repeat over and over again? Is it writing to yourself that you need to repeat over and over again? Throw the kitchen sink at it. But as almost any entrepreneur who's made it will tell you, that experience of bootstrapping, of struggling, of almost not making it, or so it feels, makes you so much stronger, makes you so much better. If you're building a business, helps you build the strongest business possible. Jessica and I got a huge fat check, actually a series of checks, from Random House for a 2-book deal years ago. And we worked our asses off, after that. And we weren't wise with money. We hadn't established that relationship. We hadn't built that relationship. And we had what I call lottery syndrome. And lottery syndrome is you don't know what to do with the money. You don't know how to spend it wisely. And we didn't buy a single silly thing. I wish we had. We'd probably still have it. But we worked ourselves to the bone and used that money for the business without understanding what we were doing. And we didn't have any left. The second time around, meaning our successful business now, came from a total bootstrap out of nothing. And thank God for the kindness and generosity of Jessica's parents. Honestly, thank God for them. And thank God for them being restrictive. The tighter the boundaries that you have, the stronger and healthier your business is, the stronger and healthier your life is, the stronger and healthier, as my editor was telling me yesterday, because we've got to be under 60 minutes for Instagram, the stronger and healthier everything is that you do. So those initial boundaries where you're going, I don't have, and be careful of your language. Flip it into a positive. I will have. those boundaries can truly help set you up for success. So Charlene, I know you will get through this. I know you will be stronger. I know you will learn so much. So let's get you writing a letter to money and writing your timeline to money right away. And then each and every morning as part of your magical morning routine, let's get you tapping on money. Brilliant, brilliant question.
Thanks, Michael. Okay, our next question is from a cult fan who asks, what works or writings do you suggest regarding working with the other side? What do you think the other side is or are?
That's several brilliant questions, a cult fan. And one of my challenges, and it's still something we get to work on our website, is I have a rolling window of books. Because I read so many, and it's 4 to 5 each week, I have a challenge time remembering all of them. So we've had several Law of Attraction guests on recently, which you can find on our show, that I loved. If I had to pick one off the top of my head, it would be Mike Murphy. I would start there. As far as pure alchemy, and that's really what we're talking about, I can't pick out. I wish I could at the moment, a cult fan, pick out one guest to give you. And in fact, it's something Jessica and I have been talking about is writing our own series of books where we take the best ideas and kind of do a compilation, but not say a Bob Proctor did this, or Lisa Nichols did that, and they're amazing people, or Mike Dooley said this, but kind of what has melded to us on working on the other side of the veil based on about 800 different guests right now. Who or what is on the other side of the veil? This is a crazy answer. In some way, it's us. It's spirit. We are spirit. Are there angels? Yes. Are there guides? Yes. Are there archangels? Yes. But at the end of the day, it's all us. It's all energy. Can you ask for guidance and help from angels, spirit guides, all of these things? I believe absolutely. And I'm a believer in just about everything because to me, it's all energy. And so, yes, you can certainly get help from the other side of the veil. And I think prayer is fantastic. I think working in the hypnagogic zone, meaning in the half awake state, to be in the other side of the veil is phenomenal. There's a process we teach in the magical morning routine that is just super powerful. And that's called the Woohoo 8. And that's for getting you on the other side of the veil. And that's a compilation of many different people's techniques that we put out there, because I think it's all alchemy. It's all energy work. At the end of the day, money is just energy. At the end of the day, products are just energy. Programs are just energy. This is just energy. And so it's always about an energy exchange. And so when you learn how to work with energy, when you learn how to bring up your energy, when you learn how to not transmute, maybe transmit, meaning put your energy on the other side with focus, or what I call putting attention, dropping a stone of attention into the giant pond of intention, you can't help but bring about what you desire. If, big if, it's for your highest good and the highest good of all. Or you get something better. We are not in charge. It's a two-step dance. So you can say all your life, and there's nothing wrong with it to me, although I'd like an eco version. I want a Ferrari. I want a Ferrari. Thank you for my Ferrari. Thank you for my Ferrari. Do they have an electric Ferrari yet? Thank you for my electric Ferrari. I don't think so, but I'd love it if they did. But you can say that all day long, all life long. And if it's for your highest good and the highest good of all, that may well appear. And if not, something else may well appear, as did our Prius a few years ago in our future, or past for that matter. But with that said, when you're working with energy, you stand the best chance in the world in bringing about whatever you desire or something better. Jessica, do you have a next question for us?
Yes, our next question is from Lavi, who says, "Hi, Michael and Jessica. Does black magic truly exist and can it affect us? Thank you."
Lavi, I believe everything is real and nothing is real. And what that means is it's all about an energy. Can somebody harm you with magic? Maybe. It's possible. But I wouldn't put my energy there. Could you need to do a clearing? Maybe. And why not? But I wouldn't put my energy there. I think the biggest black magic is the fear, worry, anxiety we give to ourselves and the thoughts that all thoughts create things. It's the thoughts that are most harmful are the thoughts in our minds, not anybody else's. So can other people do things? Yeah, probably. Is that our biggest concern? No, not at all. It's where your mind is. It's why I'm not a big fan of the news. If I was to call something the news, and I've never done this before, I would call the news black magic. Why? You go into the gym first thing in the morning. You see all these people in the gym on their treadmills, on their machines, watching the latest shooting, watching the latest killing, watching the latest fire, watching the latest whatever. And what does it do? It's a complete and total state change to them that brings them down, that makes their day miserable, that makes them feel miserable, that hurts their health much more than if they hadn't even been on that treadmill. And that's the energy that we want to avoid. That's the black magic that we want to avoid. If instead you got on your treadmill and you're watching the Sound of Music, You Are Alive, or something that lights you up, that's golden. That's stepping into the light. That changes everything. So rather than worrying about the negativity, the fear, the evil, in quote, the whatever, because it is all balanced by the light, stay in the light. And if you slip and fall, I promise you, I still healing. But if you slip and fall, love yourself up so much, get back on the horse and go back to the light. What's an awesome way to go to the light? Do a 5-minute meditation, do a 3-minute meditation, do a 1-minute meditation. Put your hand over your heart, and you're the light, and out there. Breathe in light, and out love. Breathe in light, and send out love. That helps change everything. And at the end of the day, remember, you are not your emotions. They're just waves passing you by. You're not sad. You're not depressed. You're not anxious. You're not afraid. Jessica waving a hand at me while I'm speaking.
There are sound issues. People are saying there's a buzzing. What's the part of sound?
There is a, oh wow. Okay, I see something going on here on the dial. I have no idea what. Let's, everybody has that taken care of the buzzing. Are we buzz free? No, we are not buzz free. Michael adjusted the dial. We are not buzz free. Melissa, no, we are not buzz free. I'm not getting any buzz on this end now. I did hit the mic or tap
You
on.
know, it may have been me. No.
Hold on here. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Fixed. Gone. Good now. Woohoo! Thank you guys for letting us know so quickly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If that ever happens again, let us know right away. I'm not sure where we are out of the, oh, I know where we were. The last thought on this is you are not your emotion. Emotions come and go. So if you found yourself down and crappy, you can lean into it and learn from it, which is phenomenal, but don't judge yourself for it and don't think my emotional state is who I am. You may have a wave of depression. You are not the depression. You have a wave of anger. You are not the anger. If you can understand the difference between the wave and you, it frees you. Doesn't mean you won't feel it, but it liberates you to observe it rather than to be it, and that changes everything. All right, beautiful thing. And my live chat is flickering in and out. So at some point I see people. It's kind of cool right now. So Jessica, who do we have next?
Okay, our next question. Let's see. I got a little distracted by the sound issue, but
I am so thankful, everybody. Thank you for letting us know on the buzzing.
okay, our next question is from Janice, who says, Michael, I really struggle with the idea of prayer. I have a huge hang up with the word God, so I can't bring myself to pray. What would you recommend for someone like me?
That's a brilliant question, Janice. And as somebody who went to church and or temple and or church, for all of my childhood and never found anything out of it until I went to Native American church on the Navajo reservation years later. I totally get it. So Janice, I would go to your own language. I would pray to inner wisdom. I would pray to peace. I'd not pray for peace, pray to peace. Pray to the silence. Pray to the stillness. Pray. Pray to anything. Study after study after study after study. We had on Dr. Dawson Church last week. Oh my God, 400 different plus studies on the power of prayer and on the power of energy beyond what we see. It's so crazy. It's so wild. We say, well, I only believe what I can see. Well, do you use a cell phone? So our understanding of prayer is radically different, or radically changed over the years. But you don't need to use the word God. And God is very similar to a word that I use that I still wonder about, which is Lord, because that's to lord over you. And I mean, if we talk in the Western world, God has always been this kind of bearded white man who is ready to seek vengeance if you didn't believe in him. I get it. And the whole idea about original sin, don't get me started on that. We actually talked about that with the Divine Feminine with Megan Watterson, and I believe it was yesterday's show. Awesome, 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 awesome show. Cannot recommend enough. That's on iTunes. It'll be out on YouTube shortly. With that said, pray to whomever or whatever you desire in any way that you desire. There are no rules. You will be heard. I recommend praying in the positive, meaning if you pray for God help me get unbroke, you're probably putting a lot of energy on broke. So God, source, spirit, universe, inner wisdom, inner guides, inner energy, whatever is the divine that holds us together, love. Please help bring in more abundance. Please help bring in more money. Thank you for the money. Thank you for the abundance. Don't be embarrassed to ask. Ask, 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 ask. This is an unlimited abundance universe. We just haven't figured out how to use it yet. We have unlimited resources. We don't have unlimited planet. Take amazing care of Mother Earth. She needs it. She deserves it. She is our home, and we have to take the most amazing care of her we can. But pray, 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 pray. Pray to Mother Earth. Pray to Mother Nature. Pray to the ground. Pray to whatever feels good to you. Just put it out there. And start small, start slow. You can pray in the middle of the night. You can pray when you're in tears. You can pray in that dark night of the soul. You can pray in your closet. Do I consider it that powerful? My goal, I don't know if that's the right word, I would like to live my entire life as a living, walking, talking prayer. I carry my beads on me. I'm continuously running through prayers. I send love, I send love, I send love, or all sorts of other mantras. Mantras can be prayers. Om Mani Padme Hum, there's another beautiful one. But I would love to live my life as a walking, talking prayer, because I know we are spiritual beings having a human existence. If we remember that, truly remember that, I'm still working on that myself, it truly changes everything. So brilliant, brilliant question. Thank you so much. What do we have next, Jessica?
That's it for questions at the moment.
Okay. Do you have one or two more things on your mind, and then we can wrap things up because we're already at the top of the hour. I'm so happy that we are having such great success technically. I look forward to putting in, I can see it over on your desk right now in this priority mailbox that just came in, this giant video card that we're going to load in there that I believe is going to help us with our creation, with our live. So I'm very excited for that. So would you have one or two questions left from yourself, or thoughts, or themes?
Well, Charlene just asked, does your necklace have any significant meaning?
So that's a beautiful question, Charlene. And it has huge meaning, but not so much as a tool that I run through like a rosary or anything. Although I have used it in the past for this. This to me is honestly my body armor. I can't say that it's going to protect me from anything, but it's going to remind me that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. It's going to remind me to go to a place of prayer. It's going to remind me of what's most important. It's going to remind me to work to get into that calm, centered place of stillness and of anything possible. And that's why I try to wear it at all times. It's interesting. I used to have one specifically from Tibet. I wore it all the time. It started to get old and tired. And so I started wearing it only for the shows. Then Jessica got me this one, which I think we actually have these on our website. Not that I'm exactly pimping necklaces here, but for a while I'm like, that's not quite as nice as my Tibetan one. And then I'm like, wait, I can wear it all the time without having to worry about it. Yes, yes, yes. And so now I wear it all the time. If I'm going out skating, I'm sure I've got it on. If I'm going out cycling, I'm sure I've got it on. Everything but the swimming. I haven't figured out how to keep this on for the swimming. But it helps me to be in that place of prayer. It helps me to be in that place of gratitude. It helps me to be in that space of connectedness. We could never be disconnected from love, source, God, universe. I joke and call it the giant cheeseburger in the sky. I'm vegan, but that doesn't matter, and titles don't matter either. And Jessica's been trying to feed me eggs and ghee, but that's a whole nother story. But I try to stay in that place of prayer all the time. And I think if you can do that, it truly changes everything. You will still trip and fall. You will still have bumps along the road, but you'll come back a lot faster. Your energy will come back a lot faster. And what you attract into your life will be truly magical. So I want to see if we have any other questions. I actually see one here from Brother John. Are you related to Adam? Funny you should ask, Brother John. Technically, I have no idea. My sister has done one of those expensive searches and has found that my grandfather's brother's grandson may be Adam, but I have absolutely no way to prove it. If somebody could prove it one way or the other, that would be great. If he's my long lost cousin, that's fantastic. On my better or worse days, depending on how Jessica would describe it, I can do a pretty mean Adam impersonation, but today will not be that day.
You can't seem to do it on demand.
I have yet to figure out how to do that.
But you can sing that Hanukkah song, sort of.
Yeah, we're not going there.
Maybe for the holidays.
So even though we are in Colorado, which has legalized marijuana, so do we have anything less?
Yes, we do.
Fantastic.
First of all, it's not a question, but Melissa says she loved the dancing video. She said it was so funny and sweet.
That's awesome. Jessica wants to do more of that, and I have challenged us. Although I'm learning, I don't know how to fully get this going without a phone. I am smartphone free, or at least active smartphone free. We want to get our Inspire Nation channel going on Instagram too, where we will probably share a lot more of that funny stuff along with on our Facebook /Inspire Nation page as well. I feel the more that we put ourselves out there, the better. And Jessica's the one behind the camera, so she does a better job of going, hey, Michael, gotcha. So we're going to learn about this, and we're going to share even more of ourselves and probably more cameo kitty videos as well.
Okay, we have a question from a cult fan who writes, do you believe in the practicality of astrology?
Oh, brilliant question. I believe in, I'm a believer in just about everything, which I've mentioned several times. I don't think there's any way we can know on anything. With that said, the astrology that I find in the newspapers, I think is kind of pop candy, at best, most of them. Now, I don't know all of the authors, but most of it just seems kind of chew gum for the soul. But astrology, like by Mike, Jessica, help me out with, we had him on for the solstice.
Lennox.
Dr. Michael Lennox. Oh my God, phenomenal. Natasha Alder, who we had on about geocartography or astrology as it relates to where we belong on the earth. Phenomenal. So I think there are massive benefits of learning about astrology. And then I don't know if I'm going to come up with it or not. I'm not sure if it's called the human code, the human map. Do you remember this, Jessica, where we had several sessions with this phenomenal gentleman who used astrology to tell us who we are, what gates were open, what gates were closed, and read us like an open book?
Oh, it was a couple. I don't remember their names.
So we'll see if we can look that up. If so, we'll put a link onto that. So does astrology work? Absolutely. Can we learn from it? Absolutely. Do we have to duck and cover on Mercury retrograde? Absolutely not. You might not sign a contract on Mercury retrograde, but that's just a cycle that comes around and we can learn a lot from it. And these energies are real. Anybody who says energies of astrology are not real, just go look at a crime report on a full moon. People go loopy on the full moon. If the moon has power on us, then stars and planets, which have a lot more gravity, have a lot of power or pull on us as well. And then, of course, there are solar flares, which are when we have the #1 occurrences of heart attacks, suicides, crime, and actually, you can find studies online that show over the last century, the greatest wars and battles that have taken place correspond completely to solar flare activity, not to mention heart attacks and so much more. So all of it is real. Human design, whoever put that up there, Crystal, brilliant. Yes, human design. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And do we have any more questions, Jessica? I'm loving this.
We do.
Keep them coming.
Our next question is from Allison, who says, I'm continually striving to be aware and full of love, but I have 4 kids and they can ruin that peace I've been striving for. Any advice for parents like me who struggle? And somebody else said they second that question. So we've got more than one mom out there that needs help.
So, and it's an excellent question. And Allison, thank you for asking. And I feel for you. And as we're in baby planning mode here, we will get our own teachings probably in this, hopefully kind, gentle, easy, good. It's interesting. Today's guest, who had to reschedule because he had some technical challenges down in Mexico with his connection, Fred Kaufman, a lead VP for LinkedIn, and he was talking about the difference between happiness and meaning that not everything that gives us happiness has great meaning to it, and not everything that has meaning has great happiness. And he brought out what he calls the parenting paradox. And the parenting paradox is you may find great meaning and purpose out of parenting, but you may not always find great happiness. So it was fascinating to read that earlier today. The best thing that you can do is put the oxygen mask on yourself. As parents, the #1 thing that we don't do, and we're just kiddie parents at this point, but the #1 thing that parents don't do is take care of themselves first and foremost. That's often where we get into the most trouble, because then our batteries are drained and we lack the patience, we lack the groundedness, we lack that inner stillness to be the calm at the center of the storm. And our kids are our greatest teachers, one way or the other, kind, gentle, easy, good, or not so kind, gentle, easy, good. They're here to teach us. One of the things that they're here to teach us is how to be grounded and centered and still in ourselves. And that means feeding ourselves well, resting ourselves well, taking care of ourselves. I know this is going to sound blasphemous, first, and being the example of self-care for our kids. Because what we're going to say is, oh, I can't take care of myself. I've got to take care of my kids first. And then we're exhausted, and then we're snappy, and then we're cranky. But guess what? Our kids are watching us. If you want to teach your kids well, then you have to teach them that you take care of you first, or else you're teaching them to martyr themselves for somebody else and not to take care of themselves. So in an effort to martyr yourself to take care of your child, you're actually maybe negatively teaching your child of how to take care of themselves. So that's where I would go first and foremost is oxygen mask, oxygen mask, oxygen mask. On top of that, I would put a magical morning routine in place where you get up even just 15 minutes earlier than your kids, no matter how exhausted you are, and get a little meditation in, get a little automatic writing in, get a little bit of stillness and diving into the silence to recharge your batteries, hear your inner wisdom, and get an idea or remembrance of who you are, why you're here, and what you're doing. You do that. And then once the circus is up, and for kids, love them, love them, love them, that could be a fun circus. But once the circus up, you are already plugged in, grounded, connected in that stillness, even if just a little bit. And it makes all the difference in the world. So brilliant, brilliant question. Thank you for asking. I send all my love, and I'm sure Jessica and I both send all of our energy your way to make things just even a little bit more kind, gentle, easy, good for yourself.
Woohoo!
Woo! I guess that means yes.
That's all the questions for now.
Perfect timing, as Misha, our editor, is now challenging us to keep everything under an hour. So, Jessica, anything you want to say about the magical morning routine for busy spiritual seekers?
Our first live call, which is a private live call through Zoom, is taking place this Thursday. So if you sign up for the program before Thursday, you can join us live on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Beautiful. And that'll be an actual class. So first off, you don't have to worry about, I won't be able to keep up now. I don't want to make the commitment because I'm not ready to go at anybody else's pace. It doesn't work like that. These are classes where it's a self-directed program. It's super easy to follow, but you can bring your questions and interact with us directly, not a little chat window, but literally via video, or if you don't want to be on video, via phone, and you get to interact, ask your questions, learn from others who are asking questions. And so it's like a real live classroom environment, just with all of your fellow classmates from around the world. And it's cool because some people will attend one class, go away for a while, come back. Others will attend each class, and you get to know your classmates, and it can kind of be a bonding experience and really fun. And oftentimes kids show up, and the amount of kiddies that we have show up at our classes is quite phenomenal, isn't it, Jessica?
Are you talking about kittens?
Yes.
Or, I mean, because we see some kids bouncing around the
I
background.
mentioned that beforehand, but yes, we have kids in the background, but the number of kitties and occasionally dogs at the classes is fantastic as well. And so, Jessica, you had something else to say when I jumped in. My apologies.
Just that if you can't make the live call live, they are all recorded. You can submit your questions earlier, and we'll adjust them during the live call and post a recording afterwards so everybody can watch.
Fantastic. So if you join the Magical Morning Routine for Busy Spiritual Seekers program, we've got a Facebook page where we'll post this. Also in the program with all the phenomenal videos and other tools to help you along, and binaural beat music, theta brainwave entrainment music, all this great stuff. You'll also find any classes so that you can go self-directed at your pace, but you can also put the questions out directly to us as well. And you can put the direct questions out to us in advance, and then we ask them during class as well.
And it's still on sale through the weekend, 40% off when you use the coupon code MAGIC40.
Awesome. And I'm looking up to the heavens because I'm going, what more do I want to say about it?
Well, I know that you were talking about how great it is for manifestation purposes.
It is. When you shift your energy in the morning, forget about law of attraction for a minute. Let's just talk about fun. If somebody is fun and happy, do you want to hang out and be around them? More likely. If somebody is unfun, sad, and in a black hole, do you want to hang out and be around them? Probably not. When you start your day with an energy state change, and you get that out of a magical morning routine, when you do that, you attract into your life people that you want to bring about. You attract in circumstances into your life that you want to bring about. You attract into your life whatever you desire. And on top of that, we have tool after tool after tool in the program so that you're doing law of attraction work each and every morning, step by step, proven techniques, so that you don't have to go, does this work? How do I do this right? I don't know about this. You can dive right into your law of attraction work. So if you're struggling with finances, you can dive into that. If you're struggling to find a better job, you can dive into that. If it's finding another partner, you can dive into that. But you're doing that alchemy or that work on the other side of the veil first thing in the morning, every single morning. That's how we brought this house about. It was consistency over a long period of time as part of our morning routine that helped bring it about. And on that note, I don't know that we want to pull it out right now as a prop, but we've got a vision board over here that we created years ago. And Jessica pulled it out just this past week in our new home. And what did it say on that vision board, Jessica?
Oops, I just moved my lapel mic so I could go get the vision board.
Okay, well, go get the vision board then. And she's going to try to put it on behind me. And so this will be Exceptionally exciting.
Well,
Our Maui vision board.
uh,
Okay, let's see how we're going to do this. Stay tuned, everybody. And we just crossed that Misha hour mark, but why not?
It's nothing fancy.
It's nothing. Well, it doesn't have to be fancy. It's all about energy. So we're going to do this. And I am going to disappear, exit stage left. So,
I don't have my mic, so.
okay, right up here. So you don't have your mic, but we can make this interesting. Here you go. You don't want it. Okay. So up on the top here, it says mountain townhome with easy trail access, also with coffee shops down below it. And we got a mountain home, not so much a townhome, even more beautiful, with easy trail access. We got it with trail access in the backyard. We're still getting work on the Oprah interview. I think we have Jesse looking 18 again.
28.
All right.
I don't want to look 18.
I don't know why I said 18. That's kind of funny. It's got some other cool stuff on it. Visit Leadville. Well, actually, we're living not too far from Leadville. So what this shows, healthier love, more happiness, is that you do the work, you do the manifestation work, and things come about. And so for your mornings, if you take time each morning, and you don't have to be making a vision board every day, but if you take time each morning to put in the investment in your future. So it's one of the things when I coach with people, is that when I coach with people, everybody's asking, what do I do next? What's the next step? And I need to spend more time in the doing. And I say, first off, we need to spend more time in the being. But on top of that, we get to spend more time at your desk, at your journal, at your keyboard, working on the, or in prayer and ceremony, working on the other side of the veil. The true breakthroughs in life never come in a linear fashion. They never come with more thought. They come from stepping away from thought. They come from stepping away from things. They come from going quiet. They come from going to prayer, or they come from a random phone call that we wondered, how did that person get my number? How did they call me? How did this come about? Or if the show just suddenly goes whoosh, and takes off, we can't say, well, it's because we did this, we did that, we did the other. No, it's because of what occurred on the other side of the veil. So if you make it a systematic part of your process, that each and every day you're doing that alchemy, you're doing that, transforming the lead of your life into gold, your help bringing it about. And so that's what our magical morning routine does, is help you to make that a part of your process so that you can bring about whatever you desire, as I always say, for your highest good, the highest good of all, or something better. All right, I think that's it from here, unless you have anything else to add, Jessica.
There was one more question, but I think you have a coaching.
I have coaching in 12
session,
minutes.
so-
If you feel I can get it in, I'm willing to try. Ooh, I'm willing to go for it. There is no do to try. There is only do. I'm willing to do. And if not, we'll hold it for next time. Your call.
It was a question about I can't find it exactly, but it was about the Anunnaki, a group of deities that appear in mythological traditions of ancient Sumerians and Assyrian Babylonians.
Of course you'd hit me with a stumper right at the end. I am not up on my Sumerians.
I thought maybe you may have heard of them through Graham Hancock documentaries or something.
I haven't, but I am so open, and I would always love, love, love to learn more. And I know, and this goes back to Dr. Alberto Villoldo, who we had on this past week. Right now, we're in a time of patriarchal religions, patriarchal cultures, where it's a bearded white man, a bearded Middle Eastern man. It's somebody up above who's lording over us. And I'm not picking on any tradition. At the pinnacle of all traditions, they all match and they're all love and they're all one. It's awesome. But we have the patriarchal traditions. But thousands of years ago, we had the matriarchal traditions. And maybe that was one of the matriarchal societies. And certainly things like the Incans and before, we had matriarchal societies where there was a mother deity, there was a mother influence, there was a divine mother, a divine feminine. And I don't know that we have to swing back to only the divine feminine. I think we're going to meet in the middle. I think that's why we're seeing so much transgender and things of that sort going on, is that our vibration is raising up to where we're bringing in a balanced masculine and feminine. And I believe that's where all great change is going to come from. And maybe we have to swing a little bit more to the feminine to get to that balanced place. And we could certainly use more of that feminine here now. But maybe that's one of those cultures. That's a really long-winded way of saying, Jessica, I have no idea.
Well, a cult fan recommended a series that we get to watch.
Awesome, awesome. A cult fan. We will certainly check it out. So I think that's all we have time for. I have to jump into a coaching session here. I believe in July, we may have a few coaching slots open. Jessica, is there a way they can sign up for a free coaching consult if they wanted to do that?
Yes, I just added the link. It's inspirenationshow.com/coaching.
So, and that would be in July, not yet, but we could certainly get you in a queue for a free one-on-one consult with me. Last things we have, if you love the show, come on over and support us. Become a member of the Backstage Pass Inspire Nation family, and that is go to patreon.com/Inspire Nation, become a part of the family, and we have our daily wows, our daily words of wisdom. We're going to be having a bunch of raffles coming up because we have way too many spare books to give away here, so we're going to be doing that as well as lots of other fun prizes and stuff and free music and stuff. And last but not least, share this with everybody you know. If you find this helpful, and that's the mission that we're on, is to help shift the planet, to help raise consciousness, to help elevate the vibration of everybody on this planet. If you're on this mission with us, if you like what you hear, please share this with everybody you know, and please let everyone you know about Inspire Nation. That's all I've got. I just see it the last thing here. Yun Lee, I love your videos, Michael. We send all our love your way, Yun Lee, and everybody, a cult fan, Charlene, everybody who has been here today. Love you guys, love you guys, love you guys. So much gratitude for your joining us. And Allison, send our love too. Jessica, any last pithy words of wisdoms that you want to share? And I just made wisdoms a plural.
I'm just looking out the window and there's this huge rose bush, and I could just sit here for hours just looking out the window. And I'm just thinking, I get to make more time for that. We're just sitting and being and soaking in all the beauty that's already around us.
We are so lucky. And I don't just mean you and I, although we are so lucky. We've got Love Bug in the window on her little hammock and the rose bush there. I turn the camera, but I never have quite the oh, heck. I'm going for it, Jessica. I'm going to turn the camera towards the rose bush and Love Bug.
Okay.
We're going for it, everybody. This is the Love Bug cameo. And I don't know if you can see. There's a love bug. There's the rose bush. Oh, and I'm not sure what else I can show at the moment. That's about it. But there's this giant rose bush. And it really is, to me, and it's something my coach was talking about earlier this morning. I have a speed skating coach. So we're seeing Love Bug up. Oh, now she's coming to focus. Is really about taking the time, no pun intended, to smell the roses, or at least look at the roses and look at the beauty that's all around us. Can you put the camera into the window by chance? Will it go into the window? This is pure abundance. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Earlier this year, we had the cherry blossoms. Now we have this. We have some yellow, almost daisies in the background. There is always beauty around us if we take the time to look, if we take the time to breathe. And I would challenge everybody, if you're feeling, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have this, I don't have this, you have this existence, which means there is a way to make the time. There is a way to step back from your current paradigm, because no challenge is ever solved from the same level of energy from which it was created. You have the time to go to the flowers, to go to nature, to go somewhere, and to, hi, and to plug back in and connect. And all my love, all my love, all my love. And Jessica, Lovebug, Lumi, and Sir Meowsers do the same. So above and beyond all else, we look forward to seeing you next weekend. Shine bright. Woohoo! Thank you guys so much.